Hello everypony. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a basic rundown of one of my main characters. Specifically in this video I will be covering the character that is being drawn. And by the way, the drawing in the video is in fact a commission. I was paid to make this. And the character in question, Ash Kinoshita, is one of my main characters that I've had for so damn long. I have had them since I was maybe 9 years old, and they have developed so much. They have changed so much since I have created them. Now, the basic vibe of this character is that they are very into the idea of loving and being loved, to the point where I describe them as lovesick on their Toy House profile. The other major component of this character is the fact that they have a slightly off-putting demeanor. As you can guess from this commission, they are a very effeminate character. They wear feminine clothing. They have short black hair. It is curlier in texture. If you were going to be going by that hair chart, I would describe it as 3B. But their hair is black and their eyes are pink. Their palette generally consists of black, pink, red, and white. They have very not visible scars on their thighs and chest, as well as their wrists. When it comes to their wrists, there are crosses. When it comes to their thighs, they are just randomly spread scars. When it comes to their chest, like the thighs, it is more randomly spread above the breasts, as well as a cross in the middle of their chest. However, in this piece, the only thing that I will have colored is the thigh scars very lightly. I know many people have asked about these scars and they are curious about them, and matter of fact, they're just based off of my own body, because Ash essentially is a character influenced by myself in multiple ways, be it in a way to describe myself, in a way to describe what I like, in a way to describe what I find interesting. It is basically a combination of those that puts together what Ash currently is, but the quality of their scars alone is actually based off of my own body and the past I have with self-harm. That is, of course, a very sensitive subject, and due to this, I will not go further into detail about Ash or my history with that. All I will say is that in the major port of the story, Ash is recovering from this history, and they are working on no longer engaging in behavior such as this. They are mostly doing well with this goal. They rarely, if ever, engage in self-destructive behavior such as that, because in the major part of the story, they have a girlfriend whose name is Fariha, and Fariha is a recovering person herself. She has experience with depression, borderline personality disorder, which, if you're familiar with it, its main quality is emotional instability and poor luck with relationships. And with emotional instability, Fariha has most of her problems. Like Fariha, Ash suffers from this, and they both bond over their mutual past of trauma and mental illness issues, and due to this, they have the goal of helping one another out and making sure they do not relapse into the behavior that these illnesses have previously caused. Now I will go into the conception of Ash, not mine, but in the story. Ash is born to two people who are not matching in terms of species. Ash's mother is very human, while their father is another species, which I have named Dream Child. And this species mostly is a monochromatic species that is very human-like in appearance. The only difference is their skin is purely white. It rarely has any pigment, and when it does, it's only visible at certain joints of the characters. Their hair is also black, pitch black, in which Ash has this. Although this is also because their mother is of Japanese descent, and because of this, her hair is very dark. Meanwhile, Ash's father is of Irish descent. He is white. And due to this, Ash is mixed race. They are half Japanese, half white. However, they did grow up without their father being present, because before their mother happened to give birth to Ash, as well as, who has not been mentioned before in this video, Ash's twin brother, Elliot. When the twins were born, not too long before this, their father, who I will call Fakna, which is his name, he abandoned their mother, Akane, who later gave birth to the twins and was only supported by herself as well as her mother, Ash and Elliot's grandmother. And this kind of caused a bitterness towards men in Akane. Along with this, Akane has a sort of bitterness towards her own children, as she sees them as reflections of her now ex-boyfriend. Really, they were not dating, they were merely friends with benefits. Anyway, due to this, Ash and Elliot grew up with a fair amount of neglect from their mother. Emotional neglect, that is. Their mother very well cared for their physical well-being. She kept them fed, warm, she made sure they got an education, things like that, but she was not emotionally available for her children, the twins. This caused both Ash and Elliot to develop intimacy problems, in which their only close friends were each other, and this later caused relationship issues with both twins, along with other problems, that is. In Ash's case, I will now be focusing on their life as a young adult or late teenager. They, later in life, young adulthood, maybe age 19, 18, they started developing schizophrenia, but in particular, schizoaffective disorder, the depressive type. This is also taken from my own history because age 18, I was hospitalized. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, specifically the depressive type. And because of this, Ash in the past and the present has been a very large way for me to cope with my mental illness and express myself and what I've experienced due to this mental illness. So, along with this illness, as well as Ash's personality, this all causes them to give off that unsettling, weird vibe, maybe the vibe of a student who would have been picked on in school because they just said bizarre things, their reactions were inappropriate. Ash may laugh at the strangest things. They are often unemotional simply because they are not aware they are not expressing these emotions. This applies to both facial expression as well as voice. Their voice is mostly monotone. Apart from this, they are very focused on love, and they seek out love in some unhealthy ways because of the lack of love they received earlier on in life. They are so focused on feeling something that feels like true love to them, which means in order to feel loved, they must feel it in an extreme. This may have to do with the borderline personality disorder, as mentioned earlier. So a lot of their relationships are skewed due to past trauma, mental health issues, things like that. Ash has an incredibly low self-esteem. They have low confidence, and they believe that everyone else around them deserves so much better than they do. And my video is getting closer to the end, so as a final note, I will say, contrary to popular belief in 2016, Ash is not male, Ash is not a femboy. They are, non-binary. They are even assigned female at birth. Anyway, thank you for listening to the video. I will probably make other videos on this specific character because I have just developed so much information on them that I have so much to share, and I'm very passionate about them, as well as my other main characters, as well as my characters in general. I am very fond of sharing about them. So, thank you for listening. Feel free to watch any other videos that appeal to you. They are mostly speed paints. But I will definitely be making more that goes into depth about my other characters as well as this, so if you liked this, please stay tuned. I will see you guys another day. Goodbye.